Hey everyone, Fina here from Fina Reads. Welcome back to my channel. Today with a book review. And you might say it's my white whale of book reviews because I've been trying to review this book for some time. This is take number 3, I think now, of me trying to make this somewhat sound okay. I've actually done a review at the very beginning of my BookTube channel. It's a bit awkward, but you're welcome to watch it if you want to. And what book am I even talking about? I'm talking about Gunmetal Gods by Zamil Akhtar, one of my favorite fantasy series of all times. I love this book and I have to talk with you about it. It's going to be weird. It's going to be awkward. We're all just going to roll with it and be okay with it. Please. The reason why I want to talk about Gunmetal Gods today is because book 4 is coming out in the beginning of September, and I'm currently rereading the series, so I thought might as well update my review and actually finally add reviews for the other books in the series as well, but more on that later. This review really is just about Gunmetal Gods by Zamil Akhtar. So let's jump into this awkwardness. Gunmetal Gods is book 1 in the Gunmetal Gods saga. Currently, as of filming this, there are 3 books out there, plus 1 prequel novella. As I said, book 4 is coming out. I'll keep this review spoiler-free to only book 1 though, so you can get a good intro into the series, into the book, and hopefully are excited to read it at the end of the day. The Gunmetal Gods saga is a Middle Eastern-inspired epic fantasy series with cosmic horror elements, so think Lovecraft, tentacly stuff, that kind of things. And you're following Micah and Kevra, 2 characters that are on the opposing side of a war. Opposing sides also means opposing beliefs, opposing worldviews, opposing ways on how to conquer the world. Really opposites in all sorts of ways. And that's what makes this really interesting, because you're diving really deep into Micah's and Keva's heads and get to know them intimately throughout the book. And through that, you get to know both sides intimately. It starts with Micah, who's being baptized by the bishop in preparation of him conquering Costany, which is a very important city for both of these sides. For Micah's side in particular, so for the emperor, it has a little bit Roman-inspired notion in there. It's in particular relevant because that's where their archangel, so their belief system, kind of started out, or is very prevalent. He then baptizes his paladins too, which the bishop totally didn't like. He does it anyway because he wants his group to be completely prepared for this upcoming siege. On the other side, you have Keva. He is actually done with war. He hasn't been doing anything for 10 years. He got fat and lazy, words of his daughter, not mine, and just wants to be left alone. But the Shah, which is the leader on that side of the world, has other plans for him. He is pulling him back into the fold, reintroducing him to his daughter, who's now more a woman than a girl, really, who beats his ass on their first training session. It is amazing. And then throughout the book, you experience the war, the world, throughout both of their eyes. And that's what I think that is special about the book, is the characters themselves. It is a study in humans, if you will. You're going so deep with these characters. You get to know them, their history, where they're coming from, why they're doing certain things. It's incredible. I don't even have the words for that. And that's why I've been doing so many retakes of this review. It's just fantastic. With fantasy stories, you usually have your hero and a villain, and you want to figure out who's your hero and your villain here. And because you're learning more and more as you continue reading through the book, that view of them kind of moves back and forth, and it's very interesting. The play between the two, how they're connected, how they're interacting with each other without interacting with each other, is fantastically well done. And I've never read a fantasy book, even if it was a super character-driven one, that went that deep with its characters. What I liked about this book, everything. The world building is fantastic. In the first book of this series, you have a little bit of a narrower world view. It definitely grows as you continue in this series, but even in book 1, getting to know the opposing sides and what they stand for and where they're coming from, what their history is, with the focus on Costany, the city where the war is happening, is super fascinating, especially knowing that Zamil took a lot of inspiration from actual human history. It makes this fantasy world again, really colorful, really vivid, real to an extent, where you can imagine all of the things that are happening, what things look like, how people move through the world, and all that kind of stuff. The magic system. Whoa. I mean, of course it is Middle Eastern, right? Jinn inspired and Jinn adjacent creatures, but especially the dark side of the magic system. Wow. Boy, it's good. Like, the stuff that you get is fantastic. Plus the Lovecraftian, old religion inspired magical beasts, for the lack of a better term. Whoa. Just whoa. The characters, of course. I'm a very character-driven reader. Although I love me some good world building, I always need to know what the motivation of a character is. Why are they doing what they're doing? And this is a masterpiece in character study. Like, I wonder, I actually don't know that, if Zamil has some background in psychology or something, but it is so well done. The motivations are flawless, and the way he is introducing you to the characters and their motivation and their history is fantastic. Like, he reveals the right things at the right time so they make sense without it being info dumpy or anything. Which leads me to the next point that I really liked about the book, which is the writing. Middle Eastern inspired stories are usually very poetic because they're so colorful. You know, they introduce you to the smells, the colors, the views, everything is grand. And while this is not purple prose or literary, it has a poetic flow to the way he is writing the story. Nothing in the sense of, oh, you need to read between the lines, or it's kind of pretentious or anything. Not at all. It is very straightforward writing. But the way he describes things, the way he shows movement, and it's such a great write. It flows, like it takes you through the story in a fantastic way. Again, something where my words are just not enough to describe the reading experience that this book is. Even after the third time, I'm sitting here and I'm still so impressed with it. I'm just sitting there and I'm excited. Like, I'm reading the book and I'm so excited inside that yeah, it's good, y'all. It's good. Settling down, amazement aside. This book is dark, it's bloody, it's gory, it's gritty and detailed, it's dirty. Like, you feel all the things that come with war. He describes the dirt on the street, right? You can smell the sweat on people. It is very realistic in that sense, that, it's not pretty. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not pretty. It has things that might trigger you. By the way, I think if you're someone who needs trigger warnings, this book is not for you. Anyway. There's a lot going on, and not just from a physical sense, but also from a mental challenge sense. There's a lot going on with those two characters. They have a lot that they have to go through. They definitely do not have an easy life, and they never had it. So it's a lot. And because the character study is so realistic, and you're literally walking in their feet, and you see how someone in this situation lives, and you feel for them, and you get, all that stuff is being thrown at you. So even from a mental aspect, there's a lot that you have to go through with the book. I cannot recommend this book enough, with the asterisks of you really need to like dark stuff. But if you don't mind it, or if you actually enjoy reading really gritty epic fantasy series that take you places, this is the series for you. Forget Malazan, forget Game of Thrones. This is the series that I think everybody should read and everybody should experience at least once. It is so good. Did I gush a little bit too much? I don't know. I feel like I was a little bit, gushing there. I hope this works. Well, Zamil, I hope I did your book justice. I know I have a hard time putting into words what this book really means for me. I just have to say thank you. I'm so grateful that you at one point in your life decided to take a pen into your hand and write this thing, and I hope you never stop writing. You really have a talent for that. And for the rest of you all, if you like this awkward review, please hit the like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe, because I am planning on reviewing the other books in the series as well. Spoiler free for that particular book. It might then contain spoilers for the books that came prior to that. We will see how we're going to handle that. So just give this book a chance. Just read it so you can then watch the next review, and I don't need to worry about spoiling the prior books, right? And with that, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and that I'll see you soon with my next video.